Hey, thank you for coming to my show. I think you'll hear something today that makes you click that like button, share with your people, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Let's stay connected. Tell me what you think in the comments. Thank you for joining us here at our Unseen Roots. Today we have Lisa Laude with us. How are you today, Lisa?
I am excellent and so happy to be here on our unseen roots.
Yes, yes. We're great. We are happy to have you. The way I like to start out is, who are you?
Well, by profession, I'm a corporate trainer and coach, and I've been doing that for over 20 plus years. But what's most important to me is that I'm a mom, I'm a gift mom, I'm a daughter of a 95-year-old queen, a wife, and a woman of faith, I would say.
When you say gift mom, what does that mean?
When I was asked that. So when I married my husband, he had 3 children. So he came bearing gifts. So those are my 3 extra children. So I'm their gift mom because they have a mom.
That's so beautiful. My wife refers to that term as bonus mom.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So I thought that's what it was. I just wanted to make sure I was right.
Uh-huh. Yep. He came with 3 bonuses.
Yeah. Who are your role models that inspired you?
Oh my goodness. Role models. Of course, the queen, my mother, um, June Huff, Katrina Judon, Alderman Holmes, Barbara Woodard, Carmen Watson, um, Evanston's auntie, paparazzi, Miss Betty. I could go on and on and on, right? But basically, the Black women of Evanston who helped raise me really served as role models and mentors.
Yeah, yeah. What unique perspective do you bring to your work due to your identity as a Black woman?
Hmm. I think what I bring is the ability to mix faith and career, faith and profession, and really maximize its usage in the workspace. Um, so often in my career, I have consistently found myself in spaces where statistics say I shouldn't be. And so the only way that I can believe for more of that or really experience a sense of belonging is by understanding that by faith, all things are possible. So don't think it's strange when these opportunities, hit you up and um, you can absolutely accept them and thrive in them, right? So my goal is to always allow others or to assist others in understanding that that's possible. And that's what it's for, right? We have to activate our faith, use it, make it work for us.
Hmm. That's interesting. I like that. I like that. How were you able to see the success in the roots that you're laying with that teaching?
Well, I hope I'm doing that every day. Every day I'm in front of a different group. And I hope that what I bring exemplifies what I believe in, what I talk about, that um, there really is no limit when you're utilizing your faith, and God can do it. Um, my high school counselor, it told me college was not for me, uh, but I have a college degree today. Um, when I see women in my profession that I have coached or trained and they're successful, that excites me. Um, yeah, I think just seeing my work continue and expand in others is motivating and inspiring.
Yeah. Is it possible for you to share a small success story about how your efforts made a tangible difference in someone's life?
Let's see. Um, like
Because I know you've got a lot.
exactly. So it's hard for me to um, point out one particular person or event. But really, my goal in life, the reason that I believe I was put on this earth, is to inspire and motivate and to lift individuals, my community, my heritage. And so that's what I do. I use my voice to make sure that I am completing my assignment.
What are some of the critical needs you see within the Black community that women are uniquely positioned to address?
Well, women to me are the potomita, and I'm of Haitian descent. So potomita means the middle pole, right? It holds everything up. It holds our family up. It holds our community up. We have the ability to hold the nation up. And so when we utilize that power, I think we can take individuals, our communities, our families to the next level and really experience life in its fullness. I'm going to tell you, I am not a good interviewee. I'm used to being in your chair. So I had to write. I had to write my answers down because I'll mess up and start asking you questions, right? So you said a success story. I want to be a part of your success story. What can I do to get you in that District 65 seat? That's my question. But okay, I'm not asking questions today.
I appreciate that. I think all you have to do is spread the word. That's all you have to do. Because you still, now for everyone that's watching, she lives in Fort Lauderdale right now. And so she has done some phenomenal things here in Evanston, Illinois. We lost her, I think, a few months ago, and I was sort of mad, but I was still excited because there's this thing called the internet.
Yes. And
So
you know
here
what?
we are.
Evanston will be a part of me forever. And whatever I can do to expand our story, expand our success, I want to be a part of that, even if it's from afar. My children are still very much a part of Evanston and so many family members. So it was a part of making me who I am. So it will forever be a part of me.
So true. As a Black woman, what is your greatest superpower?
My greatest superpower, and really it doesn't belong to just me. I think we all have it and we can all harness it, and that's prayer. But of course, thank you for acknowledging and celebrating my Blackness, because I am a Black woman and I love that. But I think it's a superpower that we can all use, because prayer will get you out of almost anything. And I have experienced that. I have some stories that would scare you. But God delivered me out of them all. And really it was through prayer. I remember I was traveling. I used to travel weekly as a corporate speaker. And I was traveling, and the paramedics came to get me out of a hotel room and told me that I had a miscarriage. And I was alone in a different state. And so the only thing that I had, the only power that I had, the only superpower was to pray. And so I prayed and believed, and I believed that I would give birth to a healthy baby girl, which was expected. And that's exactly what happened. And she's 22 now. So that was my superpower at the time, prayer. And so it worked then, it still works now, and that's what I'm going to continue to use.
Yeah, it works. I can attest.
Mm-hmm.
What are some innovative projects or initiatives led by Black women that inspire you?
Let's see. For sure, Marva Collins. She created the West Side Preparatory School in the heart of the inner city. And my children's father is a product of that. And her work, her dedication, her sacrifice, educating Black students created Black excellence. And so she's definitely someone that I look up to and admire the work that she's accomplished. I would have to say Mother Mary Moody, her and her husband, Bishop Carlos Moody, created the Faith House, which is, a beacon of light in the 5th Ward, Faith Temple. And that's where I really learned all about faith extraordinary faith. And so it's the faith that they taught me that caused me to travel overseas and walk into government buildings and tell them they needed to hire me because I come highly recommended and it would be in their best interest. That was crazy faith. They taught me that kind of faith. Um, and so she would definitely be on my list, right? Mother Mary Moody, creating space for faith to thrive. And then if I tell people I'm from Evanston, right? I have to mention, you know, Robin Rue Simmons. I mean, we can't ever lose that opportunity when we talk about initiatives and innovative initiatives to talk about reparations and what Robin has done, not only in Evanston, but across the world and really even across the globe. Of course, just like, civil rights, there were so many other powerful figures that were a part of what has been accomplished. But the checks came under her watch, right? The partial payback happened under Robin's watch. And so we always respect and we are thankful for those who came before her, but we have to celebrate what she has done and what we're experiencing today, right now in Evanston. It's changed so much and made so many of our ancestors smile. So those three, but I could go on and on and on.
Yeah, that's tight, but
Mhm.
it's right.
It's right. It's right.
Carlos, Bishop Carlos Moody used to say that all the time.
Yes,
That's
he
tight.
did.
It's right.
That is right. That is right.
I
That
was
was her
raised in that
pastor.
church.
That was her
Yeah,
pastor. See, that's
yeah,
the crazy faith
yeah.
stuff. Hmm.
Yeah. It's interesting too because Carlos Jr. is now the pastor, and I
Yes.
remember when oh my goodness, I remember I couldn't wait for Sunday not only to hear the word, but to hear the music that Carlos Jr. created for that Sunday. It was
You know
man,
what? It is so interesting that you said that because I found a video clip of him singing today in my phone. And so I played it over and over and over again on the ride to work. And that was my praise and worship. So having a Grammy Award winning artist lead praise
yeah.
and worship in my car today. That's him. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yes.
just goes to show you what Evanston can produce, right?
Yes. What we as a race can produce. We are
Yeah,
amazing people.
yeah.
We are so talented. We are so gifted. Um, yeah, I'll stop there.
How can we as a community better support and amplify the voices of Black women leaders and change makers?
Well, I believe for not just Black women, but for men and women to just get behind them, find out how can I help? How can I support? How can I use my voice? For example, we've got you running for office, Vanessa's running for office, Nicole is running for office, Chrissy's running for reelection, and so many other members of our community. We need to get behind that because representation matters. I mean,
Yeah,
it took me 2 good years to be a part of the PTA at one of the grade schools in Evanston. And I can tell you, you want people who understand your community to represent you because people make decisions sometimes in ignorance because they don't know any better. And so we have to support those who come out of our community who are prepared and willing, right? We have to support them because it benefits us all. I no longer have children in District 65, but you are preparing our Black future. And so I want you in that seat, right? I want people who look like me in that seat. And so we've got to vote. We've got to use our voice. We've got to use our finances, Maybe I can't do dinner on Friday night elsewhere because I'm going to donate those funds to your campaign. So that's how I feel like we can support, you all can support, we can support, and we support each other, right? It's a team effort.
It's important. It's important, especially at this time. Especially at this
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm.
resources do you wish were more readily available to Black women who want to make a difference?
Funding, of course, right? Funding, funding,
Mhm,
funding, and space. Even in Evanston, Sister um, Natisha Waldron doing great work.
mhm.
Expand her space. We needed that space years ago. Thank God she's there now. But um, Tamara Hadaway, she created Kingsway Preparatory School. She needs space, permanent space, to allow her to expand. We saw what Alderman Holmes did, with the space and the funding that she had. So imagine if we continue to multiply that and not make it as difficult. Let's level the playing field and really see what we are capable of doing. So, yeah, funding and space, brick,
Yeah,
brick and mortar, right?
yeah. Kingsway Prep. Once a royal, always a royal. My
Yes,
son, my son had a. Oh my goodness.
she's
Yeah, he.
amazing.
She really is. She really is. And
She is.
when I started running, it was it was my experience, right?
Mhm,
So I
mhm.
had to put it out there in the public, and
Yep.
no one really knew Kingsway Prep
Mhm,
except for the Black people,
mhm,
right? And it
mhm.
made me think, wow, we've got a long way to go.
We do.
We've got a long way to go,
We do. We do. We do. Made progress. And we will
Yeah,
continue to if we stick together.
yeah, that's so true. So
Mhm.
true. How can men in the Black community be better allies and partners in the work of uplifting and empowering the Black women?
Black men,
Hmm.
I love black men, right? And I think they're doing an amazing job already, truly. Um, so I think the best way for them to support us would be to allow us to help them. Continue striving to become your best. Don't let this society define who you are. Know who you are. Um, and as far as I'm concerned, you can lead me, right? And I'm ready to follow. I'm ready to support. And then in return, I'm going to ask you to support me too, right? I'm supporting you. You're supporting me. And as a community, we grow stronger. So I'm good with black men. I want to continue to see you all shine and support you, and then you'll support me too.
Yeah, yeah. It's the way it's supposed to be, and it's the way it has to be in order for us to move onward and upward. You
Hmm.
know.
Hmm. Hmm.
How do you manage the emotional labor and challenges that come with serving your community?
I haven't always done a great job of that, and I don't even think I'm doing a great job now. But one thing that I can say is I've learned to say no.
Mm,
It's not my job to fulfill all assignments, just mine. And that's tough because you want to be there for everyone. And I've learned that I can be there, but I don't have to be physically present, or I don't have to. There are different ways of being there, right? You can be there even from afar in sending your support. And so I'm learning um, I can't do everything, and that's difficult. And I think a lot of Black women may find that challenging. There's so much work to do, and we want to see it happen. Um, but we all have to pick pieces of it. We can't do it all by ourselves.
yeah, it's true. It's very true. How do you celebrate your own? Oh, just said that. I'm sorry.
No, you didn't ask me that.
No, I didn't. You're right. You're right. How do you celebrate your own achievements and contributions as a Black woman making a difference?
You know what? I learned a long time ago to celebrate myself. I celebrate myself. I pump myself up. I told you I'd be traveling. And so every night I'd be in a different city. I'd be in a different hotel room. I'd be speaking to strangers. And, when it was when no one in the room looked like me, I'd make sure that I represented and created a case and built a case for why they should give us access and not try and push us down so much. And so I'd come out of those rooms and I would say, yes, you represented, and then the few times when I found us in the room, I'd have to remind us of who we are, what we're capable of, what we want to do, not allow others to define us. And so I'd leave the room and celebrate that. Yeah, you reminded us of who we are. So it would be me and God celebrating. So I know how to celebrate myself by myself. So yeah, I take time out to recharge, pray, get inspired, and start all over again.
You just mentioned something that reminded me of something I was thinking about a few weeks ago. Do you experience, as a Black woman, imposter syndrome?
No.
Okay.
No, I do not.
Yeah. I was watching the View. I was with my mom and The View was on, and one of the women said, I think it was I can't remember, but this was a white woman, and she said, she experiences imposter syndrome a lot. And the Black woman said, it wasn't Whoopi, but it was the other one. And she said, I can't, never. When I walk in the room, I'm already 3 times, maybe 4 times qualified for that job. So I don't really feel imposter syndrome. And the other white women were surprised. And I thought, go on, sister, because I'm pretty sure you don't feel imposter syndrome with all the information, with all the qualifications you had to gain just to walk in the room, much less be able to interview,
Brother, that's what I was going to say. I'm sure she does, because as a Black woman, we must be 3 times, 4 times as qualified to get the position. So when we're there, we know that we deserve the position and we can handle more. In this society, though, at times there are individuals who have been given opportunities that they were not ready for, based on who they knew or what strings could be pulled. And so I'm not saying that that's everybody, but I could totally understand where that woman who did experience imposter syndrome, where she was coming from, because I see it every day in corporate America. Yep. And it's interesting that the Black woman said she didn't experience it either, and I didn't even know she said that, and that's how I feel. We don't.
Yeah. I was curious, because I'm like, I don't know any Black woman that feels that way, but
no, because it takes so much to get to where we get. So we know we deserve it when we're there. We know how hard we've worked. We know how much we've prepared. No imposters here.
Definitely. Definitely. What are some of your hopes and dreams for the future of the Black community, and how do you see yourself how do you see your role in shaping that future?
My dream is that we continue to soar. My responsibility, I think, is to inspire, to motivate, to advocate. Our ancestors worked so hard to get us where we are today that we can't just make it and feel like, I'm going to do me. I don't have to worry about anybody else. My responsibility is to make sure that I am opening doors for as many individuals as possible, with the understanding that some of them may not be grateful, may not remember, may not appreciate or return the favor. But I'm doing it for the benefit of my community as a whole. And so that's my role, right? To bring us together, keep us together, inspire us, motivate us to keep pushing, keep going, keep doing great, keep making great things happen.
Yeah. Definitely. What does liberation look like for Black women?
Liberation for Black women, living our authentic selves, right? Leading in the areas that we have been called to lead in. um, without hate, without envy, because envy is ugly. Um, and then, you know, being able to plant seeds, watch them bloom, plant again, bloom again. And yeah, that's liberation for me. I'm really starting to feel like I'm experiencing some of that as I see, even my children growing up and becoming successful young adults and other individuals that I've mentored, seeing them reach higher levels than I have. That's liberating, right? Because you know that your work was not in vain.
Yeah, definitely. What's your next step? What's your next goal? What's your next move?
Really to create um, members of society who are greater and better than me, right? Especially in the Black community. Um, helping raise powerful and successful Black men and helping raise beautiful and smart and successful Black women and watching them utilize their faith and put it in action and just do things that we've never seen before, that our grandparents thought about or prayed about, but never thought would happen. And then we actually experience it. That's what I want to do. I want to create giants.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, let's stay connected.